Welcome everybody, welcome to another physics lesson concerning our flat earth realm we all exist in. Something that's not taught in schools. They don't want you to know the truth. My channel here is all about exposing the truth, exposing their lies and showing their downfall. Well, trying to create their downfall and represent the truth. Everybody's being fooled by these people. It's all about money and control. So this video is quite informative. It's about the sun's analemma, the dual system, the dual reality we all exist in, separated at birth in this physical world, come from a place of singularity, but separated. Male from female are separated. So you have to bear in mind that we in the physical world are internally a singularity, a single system, but your duality is the spiritual, and this is what all religion's about, is connecting with the spiritual inner self, the unification, coming home, they say. Like in the yellow brick road, she goes off searching, looking, and very happy to come home again. It's a spiritual story, but nobody sees that in that movie, obviously. But anyway, let me just head on into this video. So here we have the globe model, the globe nonsense. Now, in the globe model, someone's just recently pointed out, which makes total sense with all my videos because everything is a dual and a mirrored image. I've never stopped and thought about that. Pointed out the fact, and it's written, it's in science, I've got it, go on site, you'll find it on the internet, that there's two sun analemmas, one in each hemisphere, and this is how they're positioned. So one could argue that would make sense because you've got the bigger part with the wider bulge of their ball, and there's the wider part of that bulge of the ball. But how can this be if there's only one sun? Well, in reality, there's not just one sun. That's mirrored as well. There's also a sun down here. There's a sun in the north, sun in the south. Two Milky Ways. We can see them. You can video them. Time lapse, whatever. We all see the Milky Way move across us. We don't live in it. If we can see it moving across us, and the sun is in the Milky Way. So we don't see the Milky Way during the day, obviously, only at night. So if it's tucked in like a, into a, imagine the sun being tucked into a pipe or a straw, like an eye set into its socket or the egg set into a nest. There's only going to be one side reflecting out, just like our eyeballs. It's part of nature, isn't it? So, and as the Milky Way turns, it's going to turn away from you. So it's in there. There's daylight. Well, it's turned. Now it's night time. That's the back of the sun in the Milky Way. Sagittarius A, they like to call it. How many people have been fooled into believing that? So, understand the dual system. It's not a ball. It cannot happen like this. Look, sun rays. Sun rays would have to be direct towards the tropics or equator to have a constant equal mirrored image, north to south. For that to be mirrored at all times, any time of the year, even though it does vary, but it will always be mirrored every day, the sun would have to be dead centre, wouldn't it? Yes, but it's not. The sun moves. Now, if you go with their theory and have the sun coming in this direction because it's the southern summer, how would if you've got one sun down here shining this way, well, what creates this? It cannot work. Because science theory is that Earth's tilt is what creates the discrepancy of the two loops, between the two loops. So they have one up here, and if the sun's this way, you know, that's diminished because of the light of the sun. If the sun went right up here, they would say, oh, you'd have the bigger loop here. Well, the sun coming this way, you'd have this bigger loop here, yes. But we've got two here. You can't explain that. That might be plausible if there was only one image. LOL. You can't have this, what they tell you with the two images. They don't teach you that at school. No, but I asked that question and they have to admit it online. The truth's there if you ask the questions. Any astrophotographer should know that nothing crosses the tropics, but they do not, because they know nothing about reality, only what they have been told, taught and indoctrinated into believing. There's two rotations, two separate star rotations with a gap. They do not merge. They do not merge. The night sky does not merge as Orion's belt passes through here. The tides down on Earth, the currents don't merge. The water's obviously merging, but the currents don't. It's the divergence in this tropical region, this gap. It's the dielectric. Everything gets diverted away. The winds do not cross. They get diverted back this way. And the magnetic field is in the wind. So why would they think the magnetic field would cross if nothing else crosses? 100% proof you do not live on a globe is right there. I'm the only one who's proven that, can prove this and has declared this. Science knows the magnetic field is the weakest point here, and because it's weak they failed to detect the fact it does not cross and it drops straight back down to Earth. Goes through the Earth and back up at the poles. Crossing over. Science wants their cake and to eat it also. They can say the larger loop is due to the central position of the ball, this wider bulge, position of the ball Earth, and by means of curving the curving ball. But they have to admit there are two images mirrored. The two separate images of the sun's analemma is 100% proof that the southern hemisphere has a mirrored image, reflection of all the northern celestial bodies, e.g. two Milky Ways, etc. But because people don't understand the model, they get out there and start looking, well, they don't see any alignment. No, if you understand that model properly, you have to imagine you've got the small centre northern hemisphere with this big, wider, dispersed southern hemisphere. So this one image is now spread out all around the southern hemisphere. It's all spread out. It's all expanded out. So you have to know what you're looking for to get a direct alignment for the mirrored image. And because on top of that we have the curving magnetic field lines that all these follow. I mean, this is the northern hemisphere, just one. The curving field that everything travels in. It's all spiraled out from the centre. This is called in celestial navigation. Go check out what is the spider web. If they know if you travel across the Earth using a compass, you're moving in this curved path. But now we have the laser gyros. Everything's starting to change. So we can just go direct, avoid all this curving. This is why we have the nautical mile, which is not on the top of my mind at the moment. No, let's not go there. In minutes, arc minutes, let's not go there. So, the flat Earth model shows us the sun comes out of the Arctic and one comes out of the Antarctic in a mirrored effect. I've shown this in earlier videos. It's more obvious at each solstice because we see the sun in the south there come more southeast in the morning and disappear more southwest. It's just proof that it's coming from that southern direction. In the northern hemisphere, their solstice comes more northeast, travels across their arc of horizon and goes around the back of them northwest. NASA and their paid puppets in the science world only mention the southern diminishing arcs of longitude with their ball model. This is their only sucky thumb blanket they can hold on to. They certainly don't tell you that time travel between arcs of longitude are all the same, especially if you are using laser gyros, not compass bearings. So as we go out from the centre of the Earth, like this is the northern hemisphere, you've got the tropical gap, then you've got the big southern field around here. You've got the curving field. It curves more towards the Tropic of Cancer here. And it curves this way too, more at the Tropic of Capricorn. Because you're getting this more curving, you're travelling further in the wrong direction. So because you're doing this extra travelling, this is why they come up with the ball idea, thinking you're coming out further on their ball. You get it? No, you're not. With a laser gyro, you'd soon prove that you don't live on a globe, but they don't tell you that because they control the whole navigational system, don't they? The GPS and everything. You just travel straight. Bearing in mind you have to avoid all the land masses, so you're going to be going all over the place anyway. So that's it, guys. It's all about the mirrored effect, the dual system. Our whole realm is a dual system. Get that in your head. There's some guy on YouTube, there's a big following, keeps telling you it's not a dual system. He's a liar. He's trying to divert you from reality. We come from a place of singularity. He might be talking about the place we've come from, but we exist in this earthly realm as a dual system. Everything's a dual system. There's always a counter force, counter forces. We've got some counter forces going on with male and female in our relationships, haven't we? Yeah. Well, you've got up and down, in and out, positive, negative, black, white. So we have a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. You spin this around, the two hemispheres of the human brain with a gap. It's the same thing. We're all related. We are of the earth. We are one with the earth. So we are separated at birth, so we go out looking for our other partner, our match, to find the love. Love is Lord and good is God. So good and love is within you. You are your own God. You get that balance right, love and good and an open mind. This is when you raise your Christ in the religious story. But that'll be my next video, so check that one out. I'm going to explain everything. Your theologians, the Jews, they don't know it. They don't know the whole story. I'm going to explain it all. You can believe me or not, it's up to you. But as the story goes, to get to the Father, you go through me. What did I just do then? No. Me. As in you. But I am the one. You can pay me. Don't pay your churches, pay me. I'll give you the truth. I'll answer all your questions. But no, me is actually you, within me, within you. But I will tell you more than any of your churches have ever told you. So bear that in mind. Check out the next video. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Any questions, just ask. It's pretty straightforward. Once you know it, that is. Cheers.